tablet, it takes forever to get the orientation done. That does not make sense. It does not want to rotate. So it doesn't pay to have brand new. Now I can't even find myself, but welcome everybody. Got a little bit of a chaotic mess, but not bad. I know the notification is taking forever to come out here. Hi, Melanie. Hi, June. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to get my notification and it's not coming. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Lori. Just trying to get the dang chat up here. And it's saying I don't have a live going right now. There it is. Gotta make sure to turn off my volume. That's right there, ready to click. My house is so quiet. I have no D. And it's like, really? It is terrible. My clocks are driving me nuts. Get back up. Gotta get that live chat up here. Not top chat, live chat. And then the pop-out chat. There. That way I can see. No, they're not. They're just battery-operated clocks. One actually goes tick, tick, tick. And the other one's got a little tick, 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 tick. It's like... And then the frog started. It's like, that was fun. Had the frog and the clocks. There. Got the double screen so I can see what I'm doing here and know what you guys are seeing. Well, I was very productive. I got all my borders on. Hi, Mary. Hi, Beverly. It's like trying to remember who I said hi or not said hi to. Because I was just on Kathy, so that makes it. Yeah. He hasn't been in my water spigot here lately. Okay. It's like, here, the Appalachian Trail quilt. Here is the corner intersection of my borders. That's the border that I ended up on the Appalachian Trail. It's completely done waiting now. Waiting for fabric and time. And you love that border? Well, thank you, Cheryl. And then up on the wall, I got the antique one. Its borders all on. It's waiting for the... Oh, good thing, Melanie. That's what you need. I got this antique one. I got its borders on. I did that small YouTube. The stretch far enough. The arrowhead block. Hi, Mary Webb. That one is all together. And I put a border on it that matches the minky I ordered for the back. Because they limited in supplies. And there's so many colors in that quilt. I'm going with a camel minky back. So that's where that went. They are very happy with everything. And then you can see I decorated for Halloween. Oil change after lunch. And then Austin come down. He says, Grandma, I need something. He says, I need something to hang on the wall. I need something to put on the table, whatever. So I started tossing these things at him. It's like the mug rug we made over on Kathy's. The mug rugs that I made out of the leftover material. This is out of the scrap pieces. Don't throw them out. Use them. Just made some bunch of little mug rugs. Then I said, I have this one. Yes, Appalachian Trail is going to Lynn. And he had a choice of this one, and on the back of this one it says, life is too short for bad coffee, so not a morning person. Death before decaf. Life begins after coffee. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee. It's like I bought that fabric for the back of a wall hanging for my daughter. And I think these blocks are from the Fat Quarter shop. Their free Halloween one a few years ago. But I only wanted the bats and the pumpkin. And then I didn't want another white corner here. So I took a fabric I had and fussy cut a moon. Because you have to have a moon with Halloween. And then the two he took. I gave him two. One that had a bat, ghost, and a cat that we made on Alive. And then one to put on his table. Oh, and then this quilt. This quilt is my Halloween quilt. And hi Carrie. And the blocks here, it's a 10-inch block with a 7-inch block and then a 5-inch block. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Oh, he's probably not set, Melanie. He wanted the big wall hanging. So I'll have to look for another panel. Hi, Gladys. But today I'm going to show you, it's like this one here I did, and I sewed the blocks together and then quilted it. I'm going to show you guys how to do, we're going to do more as a quilt as you go, and anybody can do the quilt. And if you don't want to long arm it or domesticate, put it under your domestic. Oh, thank you, Lori. I would love to have this other one done, but I have it sitting right here. I got it down. This is the one that Kathy wants. But I still have pumpkins in my bin here. Halloween, orange. Isn't that nice? As soon as I got these for Christmas, and there was an orange one, I said, now I have a Halloween one. Let's see if I can get this to where you guys can see it. This is the one that Kathy says that she wants to do. It's like, there's one of my kids is the witch. My husband's represented by the cat, I think. And then I have 6 ghosts for my grandkids. I have 3 trick-or-treaters for my kids. And I have 6 pumpkins going on for the great-grandkids. Now I have to get another pumpkin up here. Yes. So I have it out. But I was just going to keep it as this wall hanging type. But I think I want to go ahead and put it as a quilt. But these ghosts, they fly in and out of the fence. So I made the background, the picket fence, and the pickets are prairie points. And then I started doing the applique. And I mean, they're eyeballs. You can put your fingers under the eyelids. You can put this belt can I can undo the buckle. I can put my fingers in the pockets. But I have to get some more pumpkins on here. But that's not what we're working on today. But it can be in the background, keeping me company. There's people that tell me I get carried away. It's like, it's me. It's me. I can't say I get carried away. It's just me. Hi, Tammy. It's just one of those things. I guess I overdo, I guess. I get started in embellishments and I just can't stop. That's the best way to put it. So, last night, Darlene, I showed this with Darlene, and she said it was good. I did a presentation to Darlene, and this is the block we're going to come up with. And it only takes, normally, just 2 squares, the 10-inch and the 7-inch. But I'll show you how to start that. But I'm waiting for Halloween fabric to show up. So I will take the pieces here that I have. Move some stuff around. Press these pieces. Oh, helps if you turn on your iron. Can't have anything else break down. It's like, nope. I was going to lose my internet due to CenturyLink's error. They took my email address off, so they wasn't sending me a bill. And they didn't call me either from my thing. They just finally sent me a late notice bill. But the general idea of this block is you start with a 10-inch square. If you have rectangles, it'll work also. Because I almost bought some rectangles. But you just take your 10-inch piece of material, right side up. You take your 7-inch piece of material. I just eyeball it. And then you sew 1/2 inch around the whole top piece. And luckily, that's the width of my foot right here. And I start down on one of the sides. So when I come turn the corner, it'll come back and be on top of itself. So it's a rag quilt, but done differently. And it's not going to be bulky. Here's the fun part. Did I get, yep, I got to the 1/2 inch. Last night I did put a pin in it. I think one more. Yep. And believe it or not, you have to get out your seam ripper. because you need it for the first little cut. But it's not to rip out a seam, it's to tear it apart. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to stitch over that. I go down about a 1/2 inch because I don't want that to come undone. Gather up. Decrease your stitch size. But I didn't grab the other pieces today. Okay, so this is completely sewn around. And this part, you will take, and the rag effect. You can do it now, you can do it later. This is what I call my evening entertainment. Go about every 1/2 inch. Do not cut down through your threads that you just sewed. But because of time and TV, you know, don't want to take up everybody's time, but just do the rag. The one advantage to this is we're not going through a million layers right now. But the thing to do next, hi so Terry. We flip this over to the back side. And you can see where your stitches are. You take your seam ripper, no matter how pretty it is. You go your 1/4 inch out, 1/4 inch, 3/8. Get the tip of the seam ripper just in one layer of material. You can feel with your finger if it's through, and you can see on the other side. But you just want a little tiny rip of that, because then you're going to put your scissors in. And then you just go around and trim just the block. This is where your next piece comes from. But you make all your blocks and then you juggle them around. Okay, Terry, you're fine. But I'm just getting my extra fabric. So if you have multiple materials, I'm going to make another Halloween one, but I'm going to do the whole rag. So this piece here, you will trim down to 5 by 5. And it would be put on another block down the road. But if you want to do just certain colors like this on top of this, that's fine. But you'll do the same thing. You will square this up in amongst where you just sewed. And I have my galaxy here that I used on my other one. I just square up kind of the best I can. But on the Halloween one, I took and made some, I think, 4.5 inch ones, and I turned them on point. So I had another technique. So I'm going to go ahead real fast, and I'm going to trim this one down, just to give you both looks. 4.5 and 4.5. Because I can do whatever I want to show you. Okay. put that back up there. So now this here, it touches all the different parts that I sewed, but we're not sewing right up there. We're going to sew that 1/2 inch again. For moving purpose, I should probably pin it. And then does anybody not know what a rag quilt is? I should have grabbed that out of the closet too. But I didn't. I'm sorry. I have one in this closet and one in that closet. Carrie doesn't know? Okay. Well, Carrie knows that she could also have private lessons. But it's like, I'll pull this back up here, take this off, get this up closer for you guys. A rag quilt has this ragged edge because it's a raw edge. Believe it or not, this thing's been washed 3 times. And this fabric did not rag as well as this fabric did. You have your raw edges up top and it gives you another effect. You saw my quilt with Lynn? Isn't that gorgeous, Terry? And it's like, but the next one I'm making, this will be ragged out here also. And I won't have to quilt this by hand, long arm, whichever. I am going to do a whole rag quilt. I'm going to have, I know Melanie's seen it because she asked me if I loved it. So I'm going to have blocks on the back side, purple, it's going to rotate purple, black. Hi, Lisa. She's going to do another little project for me. I've had a Halloween nightmare for like 7 years now. And she is going to quilt it for me. And when it comes back, I bet the oohs and the ahs will come out. It's like, I know I get fascinated by everything she does. So this raw edge will be out here. I already did one step. My rag quilt has a rag outer binding. There's no binding. I come in and sewed in almost 3/4 of an inch. I sewed around the whole quilt twice, and then I went back and ragged it. I had some batting I had to go back in and trim down because the batting went clear out to that edge originally. And then I opened up before I trimmed it, and I clipped all the batting down really close to it. So no fingers, no binding. You save that yard of material almost for, but raw edge, because this is Halloween. It needs to be, it gives it more a spooky effect. This was my free motion experience. Like this one here, I started out here and just spiraled my way out. I got out of my squirrel cage. This one here, it's like I have just the witch's hat. I had to draw that on there. I have, I think, Boo. The spirals I like the most. Here, I drew out a bat. And to do this, I had to have my finger right down by the needle, guiding it. And then out here, I just did the weave, because I could do that. I'm very talented in free motion quilting. Not. But when you go back and do this as a rag quilt, all we're going to do is something here and something simple out here in this middle block. You can have an X, you can have whatever. These ones here, I rotated. I have on point, not on point. I just rotated them. I have the word boo on machine quilted. But it's like, it's, when you make your block, you just take that 5-inch square that this come from someplace else in one of the blocks. You hold off your last block to the end because you're just using all your fabrics, your 10 and your 7-inch, and then hold off. But yeah, it's a very, very simple. We're going to get it figured out, girls. You're going to get it figured out. So there sits the rag quilt behind me. I know you guys can't see anything right this moment. I got 1, 2, 3 of the pumpkins on here. I'm going to end up with a lot of pumpkins on the fence, I think, on that other applique one. So now I'll finish going around this one. I thought I had a piece of batting right here, but I must have been mistaken, or I put it further down in. I've been trying to feel for it here. There's something that feels like batting. Well, it's a pillow batting, but it'll work. I need one more stitch. I'd cut out extra for pillows because of the girls. On that Halloween one, I sat and watched TV at night and did the clipping. But it's not just for Halloween. It's for any fabric that you have. It was not a Halloween quilt in my first decision. It's just what I ended up doing. Hi, Kathy. But it's like, don't need a long arm. Don't need to know how to free motion on the domestic. Because it's basically, it's just straight. So that's all sewed down. So I have the 2 now. But it's like, I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to cut me 2 10-inch squares. Because it's double thick fabric right there. I could grab some different material, but it's like, on these different quilts that I do scrappy, I have a 2 block limit per color. It's just me, but I have a 2 block limit. 10 by 10. And it makes a difference when you do put in a new blade, because it just goes, as long as you cut clear to the end. I have garbage on 2 sides of me today, because I'm gathering up my garbage to take out. you know, all those honeydew lists that we have. They don't get done unless we do it. Okay, there's the two 10-inch squares of that. This is demonstration purpose. It's like they can be put in something down the road. So here's the batting. And I want 9.5-inch square batting. That way it just catches. So now I'm going to trim a 9.5-inch piece out of this. And you can use up your scrap batting because it really doesn't matter if you got your 80/20s, this and this, because it's like it's inside the block. No one's gonna see it. And if you have one that's off, it's no biggie. Normally I do not cut my batting on the same cutting board as I cut my fabric, but the self-healing mats seem to pick it up. 9.5 is what I'm cutting my batting. I need to push something one way or the other. I'm not saving that for nothing. These little tiny strips. You will have to pin now. Let me get that put back up. So, what did I just do with that solid blue? So there's that 10-inch square. Make sure I'll press that little bump out. I don't know where I even received this fabric. So the background goes down, face down. The batting, if you have white, you want to pick off these little things. If you have any white in your background, you want to pick off all them because they will stick out like a sore thumb in that white. Do that white there. So I have it laid out. Now I'm going to take this one, lay it on top, match up the 10 by 10 square, put at least 4 pins. You want some pins. I did the 4 corners and I put it on angle. That way, if I sew on it, it can be removed. Any questions so far? Because each one of these blocks will be made one at a time. You can assembly, you can make all the tops, and then you can go back and do all the bottoms. You can sit here and clip them at night. For something to do. Because I know some people don't know what a rag quilt is. A lot of rag quilts are done with blue jeans and flannel. I've seen them done with fleece. Mine are all cotton, so I have cotton and denim are the ones I have. I just did that whole side, so I know that whole side's done later. And then if you don't have a serpentine stitch, just put it under your foot and go for it. I have the serpentine stitch, which is number 22. I'll take it up to the widest and the longest stitches I can. Wow. Probably not the longest, because the longer you get, it probably puckers more. I'm not sure. I don't want to take a chance. But I am just going to serpentine stitch around this 7-inch circle. And then I want to make sure I'm out there just beyond the 1/2 inch, right at the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to put it under the needle kind of backwards, because my 1/2 inch is on that side. Or because you're going to guess. You can draw a line if you want. And then you try to figure out where it's going to start, where it's going to end. So now I'm just going to serpentine down to the corner. That looks like about the 1/2 inch. And then I don't start it over again. I just let it take and do whatever it wants in that corner. I'll show you up close as soon as I get it around it. I'm just trying to guess where I'm going to be. Okay, take that out. It's a little further than I need to be out, so I'm just going to pick up the needle, put it back down. I'm going to have a funny corner, but it doesn't matter. Okay, take that out before I get involved with that needle in my way. There. I got to remember when I have to stop. Okay, take out that pin. Okay, I'm going back down. I'm going to try to get it to stop as close as I can to that corner. And if I have to, I'll take it off of the serpentine stitch and try to walk over where my stitching to set it. I'm going to do just a little back tack, because I don't want that stitch to come up. And then I'm going to trim this off. And it's like, here's the serpentine stitch around the outside edge here. But our batting needs more than just that. The batting says 2.5 inches. So if we do something right here, that will help, because that's taking our 2.5 inches that batting is requiring. So I can take it down to small serpentine. It says it's 1 point, so I'm going to go 1/4. Hi, unknown. Okay, that's fine. And you're Pam, right? Unknown. Had to take time to think. So now I'm going to serpentine in, not so much in the middle of this block, as I'm just going to keep my near the seam. It's still a serpentine. I think that's, yep. When you try to guess your 1/2 inch, after all these 1/4 inches, it's harder. Now I'm going to go back the fourth side. Again, when I get out here to the end, I'm going to take off the serpentine one. And if you leave your needle down, press your foot up, slowly raise it, and it will put the foot in the proper position. So put your needle back down and then turn and do your stitch that you need for your back tack. Cut your strings, just clip them off as close as you can to your fabric without cutting your fabric. And so here's the whole block ready for to go for the next. Because I serpentined here, the whole sandwich is serpentined in the middle. It's serpentine stitched around out here. And there's, like I said, they want quilting within 2 inches of each other. So 2.5. So this should be just fine. And then when you go to sew them together, if this one was together, you just put back sides together and you sew up 1/2 inch. You make them in you make one row and then you go back to the next row. This is the fabric I found in my stash to work with for demonstration purposes today. So one block is done. And I could do this with several different scraps I have, I guess. But you know there'll be a lot of purple. But I'm waiting for Halloween fat quarters to come in. I just noticed it was out of camera. So I slid it back so you guys could see it. But I serpentined here. It's all sandwiched. It's all, the batting's in there. The batting is 1/4 inch off. So when I trim here, if it bothers me, what I do is I press it back, both sides, and then I just trim right down it. So if that's what you want to do, you can cut them to 10 inch. That way you have more substantial. But you just, when you clip it, I just don't like a lot of the batting to show. One of the places I've seen, they wanted you to cut them all the same size. But there's no long arm. There's no hand quilting. You can even, if you have squares you want a fussy cut, here's your chance. But it's like this square actually comes off another block, because this is what would come up here on another block. So I will find another 10-inch square. I will use it and put this up there. I'm going to try to keep with some off-white or something back here as the background color on all of these. So here's another UFO started. Unfortunately, another UFO started. And it's like, I will show it again another time, probably tomorrow. I'll see if I can't find some more material here. Tonight I'll sit there and do some clipping. And if you get really bored after you clip, wherever this is, there, you can actually start plucking these little things off. I have did that on that Halloween one. I was watching TV, so I started with a pin, just started grabbing the little threads. I had a mess when I went to bed, but... And then when you wash and dry this, it's like, it can be a mess in the washing machine and dryer. One person says take it down to the laundromat. It's like, I want to wash it twice, and then in between, I pull and pluck, and then wash it again, and then I dry it, because it will fill your lint trap. It's not what you want, but it will fill your lint trap. Any questions? Or just wait for the next demonstration? See, I could use these 2 blocks because I didn't want them in that one. This one's got the sewing machines and some words. Hi, Kenneth. So I'll probably use this next. And I'll find some 5-inch squares or 7-inch squares to go with this. That way I have 2 blocks, my 2 blocks. The backs won't be the same, but... Kathy's saying hi to everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up. I'm going to quit being the hand model. You can see more of the Halloween behind me. It does look definitely Halloween-ish. I am cartoon Halloween. I am not what you would call a devil worshiper. It's like, I do go cutesy. I just like having the holidays because of the grandkids and the great-grandkids. Just to be known a little. But I see I have, you can see 3 of the grandkids. I forgot to turn off Emily's alarm clock. But it's like this ghost goes flying through the fence. This one's flying through. He's on top. So 1, 2, 4. There must be 2 in the sky. Yep. And I put him over the cat's tail. So now I gotta go back and put the eyeball on the ghost. There's little details still to go. But it's like, I have, Melinda has a wall hanging. I have the table runners and whatnot. And then, of course, that panel, that's got bats, witches' hats, ghosts, in it, the quilting to that one. But when Alicia first seen that panel, she asked for it. So I did get it done. I got to get a dowel for it. But that's how my life rolls. I forgot that I had 4 days with no Delaney. But one of them was taken up with a birthday party that I got to see her. That tooth has not come through yet. But what's funny is her cousin twin that was born on the same day. One was born in the morning and one was born it's almost like 12 hours apart. He walks but has no teeth. She has 9 teeth and doesn't walk because she doesn't want to. That's the only reason, because she doesn't want to. She can stand up in the middle of the floor. She'll stand up and then she'll go back down. She won't take that first step. So we got to push more with the walker thing. But I was going to grab, I had another one of those 5-inch centers I was using. It's here. Oh, it's right here. And when you try to think that this is going to sit on top of another color, and that's just the way this block, see, that's one of the steps. But I got to cut some more 7-inch squares. I can make a 10-inch one out of this. So now I'm just gathering material to take 10-inch squares, and if I can't get a 10-inch, I'll try for the 7-inch. And in the other, on the arrowhead one, I had several that didn't make 8, but they should make the 7. So the 10 and the 7 are the sizes that you will be using the most. It's like, is this all? Yeah. When I went through them the other day, this is what I have left. So once I start getting more scrappy, so now I'm going to downsize fabrics again. The dinner napkin, I don't know how it gets there. That one won't fit. That one will. Nope. So now I just go through what I have again. And so now I got a different downsize bin. I think I can get a 7. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. So now I just go back through my materials and see what I have and don't have. Back to the 7s and the 10s again. Last time it was all 8s. I'm going to do some 7s and 10s. That one is not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost 6. 6. So there's materials that are being rejected already. So I have 1, 2, 3 purples and a teal. Oops. Another purple, a green, a purple. I don't know why I'd have so much purple. And then this stripe. Let's see if this stripe's big enough. Yep, this stripe is big enough. These are too small, so they go over there in the next downsize pile. But it's always shovel through, find what you can use. I think I have some down there in the bottom of that can right there, because I started a new waste paper basket bin for the pieces that are not tiny strips. So I have another pile started. But it's there is no questions, evidently. Didn't see any come up. And now I'm just going to be cutting up some fabrics for tomorrow. If you try it and you have any questions, just save them for tomorrow. These are left over from the bunny rabbit, because I've did so many, trying to use up these scraps, but it seems like They're multiplying like the little rabbits do. Getting the stack way too thick to even cut. But like I said, I have the 2 block limit. So if I cut 2 of each color here, that's my limit. Someday I'm going to run out of material. Really, I hope I do. Okay, is this 7 by 7? Yep. So this one will not be cut up in this group. You'll keep your funny mess for tonight. Okay. We're going to get Carrie back to quilting. She says she will. She's going to come back eventually. But it's like, so now I have this stack to be cut for 7 inches. Now I got to work at getting my 10-inch pile. And then I know I have more than enough batting, and I would love to get those pieces of batting out of the back cupboard. I have a small, I think it's 3 square high block, wonderful blocks for every season. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cheryl, but yeah, but I like, because it's like, I'm an occasion decorator, and it's like, and I like to change out, and I want to keep Melinda and Austin guessing. What's next? What's next? What's next? There. They say if you tilt your glasses up, if you'll see a lot of people, their glasses are not down on their ear. It's to keep the light glare out. And I keep forgetting to leave them tilted. So I'm going to try and remember. So I'm going to cut some 7-inch squares and see you tomorrow. Baby D will be back. Oh, don't be sorry. It's like, it's just using up scraps. That's all it is. Okay, grandson bus duty. Tomorrow I go back to the grandparent duty. But hope to see you all back tomorrow. Oh, you just sat down? You're fine, Terry. It's like, we can still talk as I chat. And as long as I don't get in trouble. Yeah, you do the clipping. Hunting for the block, it's sitting here. Yeah, a nighttime thing, I just sit here and clip after all the sewing's done. I showed you the clipping today because it's like trying to get people going. Okay, Lori. And so this is clipped. This one side's clipped here, and this one's here. This one is the one that's all quilted, ready to go. Another baby quilt to donate. It's always fun when you can help others. I have the 3. I was supposed to give to Susan Ear out when she was here and forgot. She was probably home when I remembered. So it's like, if I ever have the chance again, I will make sure to have it sitting out. Yeah, I'm going to make not 1 quilt, 2 quilts. I'm going to make a scrappy quilt, Terry, and I am going to make another Halloween quilt. And this Halloween quilt doesn't have the rag here. The next one is going to be all done on the machine here, because I'm going to have rag everywhere. They had, what was it, 7 Halloween fat quarters on sale for $7.99 on this one place online. So Melinda and Austin are going to fight over this one. So it's like this one here, the back of it, I was given this one chunk of material and I couldn't cut it up because it was too big. I'm seeing if I have kind of right side up, or it's like it had this big chunk of material that was too big to cut up. You put something on it and it hit it. So all I did was border that big chunk of material, and of course purple, because it's Halloweeny also. So up here you can see my not so good masterpiece of machine quilting, free motion. I did okay, but it's like Lynn Locke puts me to shame. But each block has that, you can see that meander thing that I did with the long arm. And then I went back and this one's got a ghost outlined because the ghost is in the block. This one has a bat. This one has the only thing I can do really good free motion, the spiral. And witch's hat. Another spiral. But the spirals show up, the quilting shows up on the dark purple compared to, here's a pumpkin that I kind of wrecked. Hi, Nancy. But on the bottom, got the same thing. I got a row of purple because there's no way I was going to cut that up and destroy it. So I kept it alive for the backing. It's not my fault purple and Halloween go together. And then the backs of my Halloween one are going to be the leftover purple and black tree branches from Marshall Dry Goods. I gotta quit advertising for Marshall Dry Goods. I go back and the material I want's gone. It's like, that's why I have to use camel color on the back of my one quilt, because turquoise, they only had 2 yards. I need 2.5. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, it's a Halloween show today. But because the vintage one, I gotta remember which way I'm pointing. This vintage one, the border's all on it, and you guys seen that on my YouTube if you watched it. And then this one here, the Anita Arrowhead block, it's now got a border, and the border has got camel and blue and gray and tan and different colors. It's leftover from a quilt that's in, you're sewing Halloween right now. But I'm trying to use up my 108 backing leftovers as much as I can. So I used that as the border for that quilt there. And my order has already shipped. Marshall was right on it this morning. They cut it and got it shipping already. I couldn't believe that one. Last time I had to wait a week. But we're going to do little pop-in Halloween things. because I have, this is my Halloween scraps that I have. This is my Halloween bag. They're just little pieces here and there. So we'll probably make a mug rug one day, just because we can. Keep people entertained for the holiday. Not everybody believes in the Halloween, but it's like, it's nothing bad on it. It's just cutesy. And on the back of my, I did show you the backs. See, I have a Halloween dish towel. See, which way does it go? This way. I have 2 Halloween dish towels. And you better not dry any dish with it. And then I have this one. My friend has a 10 needle embroidery machine. But on the back of my table runners, they can just flip them over and have one for Thanksgiving, for put your autumn decorations on. So it's like, this one's just for the people that are coffee addicted. This is, I buy a yard of the material, and it usually does 2 of the table runners. And this is Marshall Dry Goods. This is Marshall Dry Goods. This autumn leaves. This was last year's. Oh, there's 2 questions. I seen one of them, June. And I seen one was deleted. I did show the raw edge being clipped. Gotta get the mouse down here. Oops. It's like, will it not take my messages back up to the top? Yeah, it's not taking. Oh, did I freeze? Looks like I froze, guys. If I'm frozen, we'll come back another day. Tomorrow. It's like me. Okay, I'm looking. This one doesn't say it's froze. This one doesn't say it's froze. Okay. My laptop froze. My laptop froze. It's on CenturyLink. It's on CenturyLink. I gotta find my volume button. I gotta find my volume button. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up. After you sew them together, then you do clip them as well. It's like, the only clipping, June, is this square and this square. That's question 1. And that's the only question. Oh, I'm sorry, Lori. Now she's looking for. Yeah, my laptop is on CenturyLink. And it froze. I just went an hour on with them. I mean, I'm not kidding. 1 hour. Okay, it says, hi June, hello Sheila. Look up, you have 2 questions. That's the only thing I see on there. Is that the only thing I missed? Oh, hi Janice. You did come in. Okay. Or she was lurking. Is June leaving? Okay, June. We'll try to get with you later. I have my volume down, but I can still hear it. So I can, now I can't watch that. I have to watch this. I'm trying to connect it to my internet, my phone. We'll see if that will help any. Now I have to have 3 apparatuses going. One on CenturyLink, one on Verizon, and whatever I'm on with my tablet. That's terrible. Yes, I am live. I am live, Jennifer. I just showed a block on how to get it ready for rag quilting. It's like something must be working. I got a notification now. Okay, there I'm back up and going again. Telling me Kathy is live. Speed up that. I always speed up my stuff so I can see it. But it isn't going to help my chat any. I drag this over here. Go down here. Let's see if I get the chat back up there. All right, Jennifer, are you still here? Or did she come and go? That's one thing. We can't see who's in attendance. But we could just hope that everything's working fine. Okay. But this is I'm doing a rag quilt. It's to go with, let me turn this back around. Take this one off. This is done as a rag project. This one here, I quit with this and then I sewed them all together with just the front. Now I'm doing it as a rag quilt. So there'll be another one, and then each back I will have on my next Halloween one will be purple that. But in the meantime, and tomorrow again, I will demonstrate how to make this block in its entirety, because I'm doing a whole bunch of different colors. But this technique is a 10-inch square and a 7-inch square. And this 5-inch square will come from step number 2 after you get this sewed onto this one. Because it's like, it's sitting here. I have one sitting here. It's done. Where'd it go? There it is. Because you cut out your fabric and then you trim it down to a 5-inch square. Well, this one here, I trimmed down to 4.5 and turned it on point. So these 2 blocks won't be by each other. They'll be someplace apart in the quilt. But this one here is not done. This is the demonstration purpose. And then I demonstrated by grabbing more of that fabric I don't want to use the same fabric on the back of this one because it's going to be very scrappy. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll make another one of these blocks. The fun part is when you get to sit and watch TV or chat with the husband later. I put my scissors are both on the floor. You go back and you do the clipping of this edge because you can see it stands up. You do your clipping and you clip this edge too. It'll exercise your hand. And then this is just like on your straight stitch machine. You can just meander it back and forth, or you can just go out so far, 1/2 inch, and sew around. Because if you have straight stitch only. And then here, I went back in and I did the serpentine again. You can also do that just straight stitch. So it can be straight stitch or the multiples. I was just getting ready to cut up some more pieces for like tomorrow. I'm gathering 7-inch pieces and 10-inch pieces. Trying to get as much as I can out my garbage can today. You gotta remember, I have 3 things running now. It's terrible. And YouTube decided to take my live off of one. It's like, come on. I try to keep everything going. On one I froze. So now I have my phone running also. You have a singer that does other? Do you have the serpentine stitch? That's what I did. I call it the serpentine stitch. It looks like a bunch of just a wavy S. That's the one Cheryl quilts with a lot. With her domestic. Okay. Trying to get everything lined up and cut some 7-inchers. Beans had a few come in later. I won't leave until for a little bit. Try to let everybody have some time. But I'm cutting my 7-inch squares. And of course, making another pile of fabric for more scraps. I'll have to get that. I forget what I put in that garbage can. And because of that teal sitting on top of this green, I can't see it, so I have to turn the light on. Go down, where's the 7? There it is. Right, that one's garbage, that one might save. So I just cut me, of course, purple and teal. I have another stack here. I don't try to overstack them. Trying to see. If I fold this in half, is there 2? I have my 2 block, most that I'll do. Yep, that's 7. And that's double thick. It's just me that has the 2 block limit. You can make as many that match as you want. I don't want any of my bad habits to change over to you. And if you have a smaller child that wants to make a quilt, these here rag quilts are a great way for them to join in the fun. It really is. Sitting this, it's like, you can't see what I'm doing, but it's garbage and trimming. There. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just rotating back and forth. I'm cutting my 7s first. You'll have to get out and dust it. The quilt, you can do this block also in any block you can do in quilting as you go. That's in the works somewhere there, Jennifer. I have a couple small videos, but I don't remember how far I went. I know I did if you make, like my quilt where it only makes I can only quilt 48 inches wide. So the quilt was smaller than what I wanted. So I did show how to add a quilt as you go border. But we did do a quilt as you go. This was a quilt as you go. This was demonstrated as a quilt as you go. We just did little tiny block. That is on the YouTube somewhere. This was just a quick impromptu. And even on this little thing, I hand tacked my binding. I am bad at that. But we also used this one. We did the friction pin. We did all the different colors. We put it in the freezer. I pressed it off, put it in the freezer, and what colors came back. It's been washed, put back in the freezer, and the colors come back because the cooler temp. So we do know what colors we can or can't watch. But there's a lot of impromptu things that we do on this channel. And if you can't find it, Jennifer, just let me know. On a Tuesday or Thursday, we can make another one of these little things. I can find some small squares right there. But see, here's another pile of 7-inch tops. Because that one I did was with light colors. So I can either continue with just light colors or I can make any color background. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Mona did what? I always think I'm going to get in trouble. Mona did what? Just like when I heard Sandra K, I was always in trouble. So again, just trimming this down. I'm going to do my 7-inch first. Because look, there's more pieces for doing that quilt as you go for you. I even did that one without hand stitching it down. I am a finagler of, I don't like the machine stitch on both sides, but I managed on that one. Okay, now I need to trim this down to 7. And being there's not going to be much strip, I'll just go in the middle of it all. Fill up my garbage can. Trying to dispose of extra stuff. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 12 blocks so far. Just on the one sides. So stack them up. Because this is where the folds are. I'm going to get my 7 plus over on this other side. I try to go like 7 1/4. So that way it leaves me these bigger pieces over here. But trying to use up these scraps, but it's just not, they're multiplying. They're not going down, they're multiplying. I think they're related to the mice and the rabbits. But I'd have to say mice because our rabbits never multiplied. We always had the mean mommy that didn't want the little ones to live, I guess. We tried. So I see I have some on each side of 7. So tomorrow I'll find some fabric for the 10-inchers. And we'll start another color group. Or more blocks. We'll get some more tomorrow. Yes. I was cleaning some of my drawers last night hunting for. I just needed one more block for the Appalachian Trail, or not Appalachian Trail, the Arrowhead one, and I found all these different materials. So this is the smaller than 7. There's a cute monster back there. It's on a Roku channel. I could probably find it, maybe, if I can remember. Where's a pencil? Where's paper? Is there a special thing? The Great British. I'm hunting. I'm hunting. I packed out everything again. Well, where's my friction pin? Oh, there. Found that. I just have to find paper. I know I have some. Great British sewing bee on Roku. Okay, you watch on your laptop? Well, I have Roku. So I will look that up. I think I have everything cut because I'm going to use these 2 10-inch squares are going to be involved in part of the murdering. Home Sewist competition. Does that mean we compete? More projects? So I do have 2 10-inch squares left that I didn't put in the one thing. It's covered in dog photos. Okay, I know why. I have my pictures hanging on the wall in the back room. And then I used to have one right here, but I don't know. What happened to it? Oh, right here. I keep my loved ones always close. I want to fill this whole photo album with my little ones. So that's what I have so far in here with me. This is Oreo when we got her, and this was when she was older. Tuffy when we got him and as he aged. He lost that whole stripe up his forehead. Well, so did she. They have same mothers, different father, or same father, different mothers. But I wanted to keep pictures of, and then I have some patterns in here from when I did. But they're always in your heart. They never leave there. When I was in the, we had it over here. Hi, Randy. We had what they called the strip club. And no, Randy, it wasn't anything involved in stripping. It involved the 2.5-inch strips. And each week that we attended, we got a 2.5-inch pattern that involved strips. We had to pay strip poker. The ante was strips. So for every one we anteed in, she would match it ×2. So whoever won that card hand, we had clues of different sewing things, and we had to go around the shop and we had to find it. So we got all these different patterns that involved using strips. And we even got time to go with the Acu quilt. We went around and picked fabric, and we made our own strip sets. And then we got 30% off if we bought manufactured pre-cut strip set jelly rolls. Do I have paisleys? Pasties. No, no, Randy. But the first time the grandkids, they go, "Where's Grandma?" And Grandpa goes, "She went to a strip club." You let Grandma go to a strip club? He goes, "It's not that kind of a strip club. It's with strips of fabric." And they go, "Uh-huh, Grandpa, sure." It's like, he didn't help any either. But it's like, until I get more pictures printed off, it's like, that's where those patterns go. And then the patterns will probably be behind the pictures, because that's my little cuties. We talked about that the other night. I don't even know how we got on the subject of things that twirled, but we did. It's just us girls having a silly moment. At midnight their time and 9 o'clock my time, I guess we can have silly moments. Thanks, Loretta. It's like, so tomorrow we will do another one of the blocks. I keep setting all this stuff on top of them. Tomorrow we'll make another one of these style blocks. Not this color. It's going to be new. Yep. And they can stay. I'm still a stripper, because I work with strips at times too. Not now. I'm using 7-inch squares. I'm hanging out with the square group. I'm hanging out with a lot of squares, because it's a 10-inch square, a 7-inch square, and then from the back of the block, you get your 5-inch square. So I'm hanging out with the odd squares, because it's like 7 and 5 are odd numbers. And then when you sew it together, because we're doing rag effect this time, I'll clip this and get it all clipped and take a picture of it. But there'll be a stack of these. And on my arrowhead one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 blocks is what I used on my arrowhead to make. It's written down here somewhere. 48 by 79 is the quilt, I think it was, or 81. No, it's 80 something. Because it was 71 without a border. And if you can't buy, so 2 yards of minky wouldn't be good enough. So I figured as long as I have to go longer, I have to buy 3 yards because they don't sell the minky in half yards at Marshall's. So I went ahead and added a whole nother row. That way Austin can be under it and be. But I'm sending off to shut this one down for a moment. I'm sending off to Lynn this quilt top. This is a wall hanging. Yes, Randy, I posed for this. And I asked her if she had any ideas, and she has some ideas. So Lynn will be quilting that. I can't wait to see what she does with it. That's self-portrait, right, Randy? I've had that thing for 7 years, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Well, there is no more of that. It's being sent off. I can hardly wait. I hope she does a video on the whole thing. I'm still watching my quilt, just those simple ones she did, trying to figure out how to do that. And she does it with such ease. But she says she's doodled it for so many years that it comes with ease to her now. I could do it all the time and still not come out with it. Okay. Turn you back up again. So I have my crown. There you go, Randy. There's my crown. I gotta move that pillow someplace else. But I want to thank everybody for coming around, and see you tomorrow for the next lesson. Yes, she does beautiful work. My quilt's in the mail. She sent me the tracking information today. And then I'm sending her back out one. Cool block. When you wash it, it does fray. This one's been washed twice. And you can see the fray. The fray shows up some fabrics more than others. But I'll sit here and pick them if it's not fraying enough for me. When it's out for the holiday, I'll sit here and pick those little tiny things. But some fray better than others. This has been washed twice. And each time it's supposed to get more. I just haven't figured out which way to trim the corners yet. But it's frayed enough to give that look. And then the binding is also frayed. The binding is done the same thing. I will have your girl tomorrow, Randy. She's getting shots today. She's getting shots. She might not be in a good mood tomorrow. Tilt those glasses again. But she will be here. I know. A day without D is like a day with no sunshine. Because my house is super quiet. But I got to get off here because we have to move over to Gladys in 15 minutes. So anybody watching Gladys, 15 minutes, get those breaks done, and we'll see you over there. Bye, everybody. Oh, I can't write on that one. I'll write on this one. Now, reach up here without my hand being in front of the screen. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.